How many times did you check your phones today? 50, 100, 200 times? What if I told you that every single one of those checks is hijacking your brain's reward system and destroying your ability to focus on the things that actually matter? Today, we're diving deep into Thibaut Maurice's game-changing book, Dopamine Detox, and I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from the digital addiction that's keeping you stuck, unfocused, and unproductive. If you've ever felt like you can't concentrate for more than a few minutes without reaching for your phone, if you've ever wondered why the important tasks feel impossible while scrolling feels effortless, or if you're tired of feeling like your devices control you instead of the other way around, this video will change everything. Get ready to reclaim your brain, boost your productivity, and finally tackle those hard things you've been putting off. Let's start with a reality check. You wake up and what's the first thing you do? Grab your phone. You're waiting in line for coffee. Phone. Commercial break during a show. Phone. Bathroom break. You guessed it. Phone. We've created a world where boredom is extinct, where every spare second is filled with digital stimulation. But here's what nobody talks about. This constant stimulation is literally rewiring your brain in ways that make focusing on important work feel like torture. Thibaut Maurice, productivity expert and author of Dopamine Detox, explains that we're living in a dopamine-rich environment that's making us dopamine dependent. Our brains are getting hit with pleasure chemicals all day long from likes, notifications, videos, and games, and this is making normal activities feel boring and unrewarding. The result? You can't focus on your work, you can't stick to your goals, you feel restless and anxious when you're not stimulated. You start important projects but never finish them because your brain is constantly seeking that next hit of easy pleasure. But here's the incredible news. You can reverse this. You can retrain your brain to find satisfaction in meaningful work, to focus deeply for hours, and to actually enjoy the process of building something important. Chapter 1. Understanding your hijacked brain. The dopamine trap. Let's talk about what's really happening in your brain. Dopamine isn't actually the pleasure chemical. It's the wanting chemical. It's what makes you crave the next notification, the next video, the next scroll through social media. Maurice explains that every time you get a like, a message, or discover something new online, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. This feels good, so your brain starts craving more. The problem is that these easy dopamine hits are so frequent and so intense that they're making everything else in your life feel boring by comparison. Think about it. Why does checking your phone feel effortless while working on your business plan feels like pulling teeth? It's not because you're lazy or lack willpower. It's because your brain has been trained to expect constant stimulation and immediate rewards. Your phone gives you instant gratification. Your important work requires delayed gratification. When your brain is used to getting rewards every few minutes, asking it to work for hours without a dopamine hit feels impossible. The productivity killer. Here's what this dopamine dysregulation is doing to your productivity. First, it's destroying your attention span. Studies show that the average person can only focus for about 8 seconds before getting distracted. That's less than a goldfish. Second, it's making you addicted to easy tasks. You'll spend hours organizing your desk, checking emails, or doing busy work because these activities give you small dopamine hits. Meanwhile, the important project that could change your life sits untouched because it requires sustained focus and offers no immediate reward. Third, it's creating a cycle of procrastination and guilt. You know what you should be doing, but your brain keeps pulling you toward easier, more stimulating activities. Then you feel guilty, which creates stress, which makes you seek more digital comfort, which makes the problem worse. The phone dependency crisis. Let's be honest about what your phone has become. It's not a tool anymore. It's a digital drug dealer. Muris points out that tech companies employ teams of neuroscientists and behavioral psychologists to make their apps as addictive as possible. Every notification is designed to trigger FOMO. Every pull to refresh is designed like a slot machine. Every algorithm is optimized to keep you scrolling just a little bit longer. You're not weak for being addicted. You're responding exactly as these systems were designed to make you respond. The average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's once every 10 minutes during waking hours. Each time you check, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus on what you were doing. Do the math. You're never actually focused. Chapter 2. The Dopamine Detox Solution. What is a dopamine detox? A dopamine detox isn't about eliminating all pleasure from your life. It's about resetting your brain's reward system so that you can find satisfaction in meaningful activities again. Muris explains that when you temporarily reduce high dopamine activities, social media, video games, junk food, endless entertainment, your brain starts to find pleasure in lower stimulation activities like reading, exercising, working on projects, or having real conversations. Think of it like this. If you've been eating candy all day, an apple tastes boring. But if you haven't had sugar for a while, that apple becomes incredibly satisfying. The same principle applies to your brain's reward system. The Complete Detox Protocol. Here's Muris's Complete Dopamine Detox Protocol that you can start implementing today. Phase 1. The 24-hour reset. For one full day, eliminate all high dopamine activities. No phone, except for emergencies. No internet browsing. No TV. No music. No junk food. No video games. This sounds extreme, but it's only 24 hours, and it will show you just how dependent you've become on constant stimulation. What can you do instead? Read a physical book, go for walks, exercise, meditate, journal, have face-to-face conversations, work on a meaningful project, or simply sit with your thoughts. Most people are shocked by how uncomfortable this feels initially. That discomfort is proof of how necessary this reset is. The phone detox strategy. Since phone dependency is one of the biggest productivity killers, Muris provides specific strategies for breaking free. The physical separation method. Keep your phone in a different room when you're working. The extra steps required to check it will break the automatic habit of reaching for it every few minutes. The morning protection. Don't touch your phone for the first hour after waking up. Instead, use this time for your most important work when your willpower is strongest. This one change alone can transform your entire day. The evening cutoff. Stop all screen use 2 hours before bed. This improves sleep quality, which improves focus the next day, creating a positive cycle instead of the negative one you're currently stuck in. Building your high-value activities list. Once you've created space in your dopamine system, you need to fill it with activities that provide meaningful satisfaction. Muris calls these high-value activities, things that are challenging but rewarding in the long term. Your list might include working on your business or career goals, learning a new skill, exercising, reading educational books, practicing a musical instrument, the writing, or building meaningful relationships. The key is to choose activities that require effort and provide delayed gratification. These are the activities that will actually improve your life, but they feel boring when your brain is overstimulated with easy dopamine hits. Chapter 3. Rewiring your brain for focus. The focus training method. Maurice teaches a powerful technique called focus training that gradually rebuilds your attention span. Start with just 20 minutes of uninterrupted work on one important task. No phone, no distractions, no multitasking. When your brain starts craving stimulation, and it will, don't give in. Sit with the discomfort. Breathe through it. Remind yourself that this craving will pass, and each time you resist it, you're literally rewiring your brain for better focus. Once you can consistently do 20 minutes, increase to 30, then 45, then 60. Within a few weeks, you'll be amazed at your ability to focus deeply for extended periods. The boredom breakthrough. Here's something that will change how you think about boredom forever. Boredom is not the enemy. It's the birthplace of creativity and deep thinking. When you eliminate constant stimulation, your brain starts generating its own interesting thoughts and creative solutions. Maurice explains that some of history's greatest innovations came from periods of boredom. When your mind isn't constantly consuming content, it starts creating content. But you'll never experience this if you're always reaching for your phone the moment you feel unstimulated. Practice tolerating boredom. Sit in waiting rooms without your phone. Take walks without podcasts or music. Let your mind wander. You'll be shocked at the ideas and insights that emerge. The deep work revolution. Once your brain is detoxed, you can enter what Maurice calls deep work mode, the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding tasks. This is where real productivity and achievement happen. In deep work mode, you're not constantly switching between tasks. You're not checking notifications every few minutes. You're fully immersed in meaningful work, and time seems to fly by. This is the opposite of the scattered, distracted state most people live in. The paradox is this: by giving up the easy pleasures, you gain access to much deeper satisfactions. The satisfaction of completing important projects, of building skills, of making real progress on your goals. Creating friction for bad habits. One of Maurice's most practical strategies is creating friction for the behaviors you want to eliminate. Make the bad habits harder and the good habits easier. For your phone, remove social media apps and only access them through the browser. Log out of all accounts so you have to log in each time. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Use grayscale mode to make your phone less visually appealing. For productive work, prepare everything the night before. Have your workspace ready, your projects organized, and your phone in another room. Remove all barriers to starting your important work. Chapter 4. The Productivity Transformation. The 90-Day Challenge. Maurice recommends a 90-day dopamine optimization challenge. This isn't about perfection. It's about gradually shifting your brain's reward system toward activities that actually improve your life. Week 1 to 2. Focus on phone detox. Implement the morning and evening phone-free periods. Practice sitting with boredom for short periods. Week 3 to 4. Add focus training sessions. Start with 20-minute blocks of uninterrupted work on important tasks. Week 5 to 8. Eliminate or drastically reduce social media, video games, and mindless entertainment. Replace with high-value activities. Week 9 to 12. Optimize your environment and routines for sustained focus and productivity. The energy management system. Maurice emphasizes that dopamine detox isn't just about attention, it's about energy management. When you're constantly seeking stimulation, You're burning mental energy all day long. No wonder you feel exhausted by the time you want to work on important things. By reducing unnecessary stimulation, you preserve your mental energy for what matters. You'll find that you have more motivation, more willpower, and more enthusiasm for meaningful activities. The compound effect of focus. Here's what happens when you consistently apply these principles. Small periods of focused work compound into massive results. An hour of focused work is worth more than 8 hours of distracted work. When you can focus deeply, you enter flow states where you produce your best work effortlessly. You solve problems faster, learn skills quicker, and make progress that seemed impossible when you were constantly distracted. Most importantly, you start feeling proud of what you accomplish instead of guilty about time wasted. This creates positive momentum that makes it easier to maintain your new habits. Chapter 5. Advanced Strategies and Troubleshooting. The social challenge. One of the biggest obstacles to dopamine detox is social pressure. Your friends expect instant responses to messages. Your colleagues expect you to be constantly available. Society tells you that being busy and connected equals being important. Maurice suggests setting clear boundaries and communicating them. Let people know you check messages at specific times, not constantly. Explain that you are optimizing your focus for better work. Most people will respect this, and many will be inspired to try it themselves. Remember, you're not being antisocial. You're being intentionally social. Quality conversations and relationships are much more satisfying than constant digital chatter. Handling setbacks. You will have setbacks. You'll have days when you fall back into old patterns. Maurice emphasizes that this is normal and expected. The key is not to let one bad day become a bad week. When you slip up, don't waste energy on guilt or self-criticism. Simply acknowledge what happened, identify the trigger, and get back on track immediately. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. The identity shift. The most powerful part of dopamine detox is the identity shift that occurs. You stop seeing yourself as someone who can't focus and start seeing yourself as someone who does deep, meaningful work. You stop identifying as busy and start identifying as productive. You stop being someone who's always distracted and become someone who's always present. This identity shift makes maintaining your new habits much easier because you're not fighting against who you are. You're acting in alignment with who you've become. Long-term maintenance. Once you've completed your initial detox, the goal isn't to eliminate all high dopamine activities forever. It's to have conscious control over them instead of being controlled by them. You can enjoy entertainment, social media, and other stimulating activities, but as intentional choices rather than compulsive habits. You decide when and how much, based on what serves your goals and well-being. Your transformation awaits. Imagine what your life would look like if you could focus deeply for hours at a time. Imagine if you felt excited about working on your important projects instead of constantly procrastinating. Imagine if you felt calm and present instead of anxious and scattered. This isn't fantasy. This is what becomes possible when you take control of your dopamine system. The strategies in Dopamine Detox aren't just productivity hacks. They're life transformation tools. You have the power to break free from digital addiction. You have the ability to train your brain for deep focus. You have everything you need to reclaim your attention and build the life you actually want. Here's your simple action plan to get started today. Choose one high dopamine activity that's been stealing your focus. Maybe it's social media, maybe it's news websites, maybe it's mobile games. Eliminate it for just 48 hours and replace that time with one meaningful activity. Notice how you feel during those 48 hours. Notice the cravings, the boredom, the restlessness, and also notice any moments of clarity, creativity, or deep satisfaction that emerge. This will show you both how dependent you've become on digital stimulation and how powerful you feel when you're free from it. If this video has opened your eyes to the hidden ways your devices are controlling your life, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I'm here to help you reclaim your focus, boost your productivity, and build the life you actually want. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one digital habit you're going to eliminate first? I read every comment, and I'm genuinely excited to support you on this journey. Remember, in a world full of distractions, your ability to focus is your superpower. In a world of instant gratification, your ability to delay gratification is what will set you apart. You have everything within you to break free from digital addiction and create something amazing. Your focused, productive, intentional life is waiting for you. It's time to claim it. Claim